Right, so today we're going to be having a go at replacing the interior cabin filter on the Mondeo Mk4. Right, so there's a couple of ways of replacing this filter. We're going to try removing the glove box and going that way, rather than having to take out the fuse box. So there's 4 Torx screws. We'll try removing those first. So these are TX20 bits. Let's try removing these. Okay, and then there's 2 nuts on the inside of the glove box. So I've got these 2 here to remove. Okay, so we've got our 10mm hex nuts to undo. That's the wrong way. That's one. Where's the other one? Okay, that looks like that one's out. Right, glove box is feeling a bit loose now. Okay, so let's try. Right, there's a cable here. This is for the glove box light. Let's try and take this out. Okay, so this connector, just need to push in the little tab at the bottom and the connector will pull out. Okay, so let's see if we can pull this out any further. It looks like just being held in by the USB connector and the audio connector at the bottom there. So this is the 3.5mm audio jack. And I think down here we've got the USB thing. Okay, so here I've just pulled the tabs out and taken the USB connector out completely. Okay, so it looks like we've just got one more connector here. I think this is for the passenger airbag switch, which isn't fitted on this one. So I just removed that and the glove box should come out. Okay, so the glove box came out after that final connector. And the filter is just at the back here. So it looks like we still need to reposition the fuse box to get in there. Looks like all 3 nuts are still in there. It's been serviced twice. Normally one's gone missing by now, so when we take this out we'll be able to see whether it's ever actually been replaced. Okay, so we're back underneath the glove box, and there's two fastenings here which you just squeeze and pull. That loosens off this area, and then on this side there's just a clip which from above, which you'll be able to see if you just pull it, it comes out, and that's that bit of trim removed, so we can just get rid of that. So this is our view from below the fuse box, and there's just a little knob to turn here, and that hinges the fuse box down. And we're not far off having access to the filter. It still looks like it's going to foul here, so we might just need to unclip the fuse box here and just push it out of the way. Okay, it wasn't immediately obvious how the fuse box was moved, but it looks like when it's hinged down you can just give it a wiggle. Comes out like that. Now I don't want to remove any connectors, so that's as far as I'm going to go with removing the fuse box. And now we can just about gain access to the pollen filter cover. Right, so I've got my 7mm socket attached to the end of my screwdriver. So I guess it's just a case of removing these nuts and flipping the cover open. That's almost one. The other one there as well. I'll put the camera down to do this, and I'll get back to you in a sec. Okay, so that's the screws out. I think it's just a case of unclipping the cover now. A bit fiddly. I think we just need to slide it, pull and push it towards the bulkhead. Oh wait, there's another fucking nut. Right, so it turns out there's one more screw at the bottom of the cover. I only undid two. There's actually a third one, so I'll just get my mini bit ratchet and undo that one. Right, so this one's a little bit more fiddly to get to. Fortunately, I've got this tiny wrench here to ease access. I guess if you took the fuse box out, you could do this with a screwdriver fairly easily. I was trying to avoid that. See if I can just undo this by hand. Yeah, it's coming out. Right, so let's have another go at removing the cover. There we go. That seems to, yeah, we're out. And we can see the filter there. Doesn't look too bad actually. Maybe they did replace it last time. A little bit fiddly. That's pretty clean actually. Let's get this wire out of the way. See, this would be a lot easier without the fuse box being just removed. There we go. Just that one out. Okay, so that's the filter out. It's not actually bad at all. It's it looks dirtier than it is. It's because it's one of the I think it's one of the carbon filters. But we'll stick the new one in. Airflow, if you can read that. So this came out exactly this way through there. You want to make sure you fit it the right way when you replace it. Okay, so we've got our new one here. This is again a carbon one, but I didn't get the genuine Ford, I got a Mann filter one. So we'll just whack this back in. I guess the same procedure as before, but in reverse. Could be a little bit fiddly. Okay, so I've got the new one kind of in position. Just going to try pushing it back in. That seems to be. There we go. And we're in. So I guess it's just a case of putting the cover back on. There's a little flap here, and that just sits inside the filter holder. Somewhere. There we go. Right, we're in position. We'll just put the screws back in. So we've got one at the top there. I think there was one just here as well. Can't quite locate that one. So there's actually two holes where this second screw should go. The screw needs to go in the top one of the two. Okay, so I've got my 7mm socket again on my screwdriver. I'll just do those up. Just got the fiddly one at the bottom to do. Right, so let's try and do this bottom one up. Absolutely boiling day today. Not the best to be working in the car. Okay. And that's that, not too tight. It's not got a threaded insert, so it's just going into plastic. Let's try getting this fuse box back in. It's a little bit fiddly. So just underneath the fuse box, you just have to get these to clip into the plastic. It seems to go in when the hinge box is in its downward position. And that looks like we're in. Do this little clip at the front. Right. We can put the passenger side trim back on the bottom here now. Okay, so we just put the trim back on. This just went in fairly loosely. Yellow pegs should stick through the holes. Or there's a ventilation here for the passenger footwell, so you just put the trim behind that, and these just push onto the yellow fixings. And then just on this side there's a little clip, and that just clips onto the plastic at the bottom of the glove box trim. And it looks like we just put the connectors back on the glove box and we're done. Right, so at this stage we've just got the glove box loosely in place, and we just put all these connectors back in. So there's the USB connector, just clips in at the bottom, 3.5mm audio jack, and on the other side just the retainer for the airbag switch. And the light for the glove box, that connector, which is in. And that's the glove box kind of back in place. So I just put these two machine screws back in the top of the glove box. Okay, so let's try putting these machine screws back in. It feels like that one vaguely in the right place. Let's try the one on the right hand side. That feels promising. So there's a bar underneath here that these two screw into. We'll just get our little mini wrench, tighten these up. Again, these don't need to go too tight. If you're using a bigger wrench, you might want to use a bit more caution. You get a lot more torque on the screw with a bigger one. Okay, that's feeling about right. So we just need to put the torque screws back around the edge of the glove box now, so we'll start with this one here. There's another one at the top. Another one at the top just here. Oops. Right, just had to reposition the camera because the sun was in the lens when I tried to move it around here. So we're just putting the final two torque screws. One up here. should be that. Okay, so that's the filter replaced. It wasn't too fiddly. I can see why some garages might omit it, because it is a little bit of a bigger job than it should be for a serviceable part. But I don't think that took too long. The only tools we needed were a 10mm socket, 7mm socket, a little wrench of some kind. This small one was actually quite handy for getting into that bottom screw on the filter cover. A TX20 Bit for the screws around the glove box, and a bit holder for that, and the filter itself. There is a standard Pollen filter without the charcoal in it, which has the same part number but without the K in it, and obviously there's the genuine Ford parts, but this one was going cheap on eBay, so I just used that.